Yeah, that was good.
Smashing. Absolutely out of this park.
My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
I always come.
That was the outro one, that's why.
Am I glad he's frozen in there and that we're out here and that he's the sheriff and that we're frozen out here and that we're in there and I just remember we're out here. What I want to know is where's the caveman?
That's a great question. We never really asked for where the caveman is, but here we are. Still have no idea where the caveman is.
Don't know why that stopped. I was holding the wrong one.
I'm just glad
I can finally open this. Oh my goodness, I've been waiting this whole time.
The Cricketini. He's cracked one. Absolutely smashed it out of the park. Sponsored by 100 Plus. And not. Bless
Remember
you.
the fake 100 Plus ad? Also, geez.
Oh, yes, that was an ad. Yes,
Looks like
that
you
was
were enjoying the 100 Plus more than me.
briefly. Not as much as I enjoyed other things.
Hold on, I gotta do Jackson.
Yeah, see, this is great for an audio format. Yeah, no, that joke really works.
Oh, that reminded me.
That was
Thank you,
quick.
Jackson.
You're welcome.
Remember how you said you were getting sick of Distractable and all that?
Yes. I mean, yes. I should start saying properly. Yes.
Well, you're just not listening. You're like 4 or 5 episodes behind, and so now you're like, I can't be bothered anymore. Yeah, most of those episodes that you're like are missing, they're mostly visual. In fact, there was one that's entirely visual that, as a listener, I'm sitting there going, I really have to like mentally visualize what's going on here.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And the fact the way they edit it is also very YouTubery. It's not really something you consider to be something worthy of a audio medium, but anyway.
Yes. Anyway, don't mind that, Kyle. We're just talking about a different podcast.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Have you told him about Distractable, Jackson?
No, because we talked about this last episode. You're like, what episode should Kyle listen to, Jackson? I'm like, well, not that. And I said, just listen to the Average Blokes.
That is true, yeah.
Hashtag shameless plug.
True.
But yeah, housekeeping time just quickly. We've got an Instagram account. Check out that. We've got 2 new followers on Instagram. So woo, and then weren't me. Woo, and
Impressive.
massive.
It was me and Kyle. It was me and Kyle.
No, it was actually both Jamin and Bo.
Well.
Yeah, that says a lot, really.
Cousins Shire. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes,
know,
thank you. Yes.
I'm something of an Instagrammer myself.
Are you? Yes, you post it all the time.
I do have actually a photo Instagram thing. Do you remember the memes I made, Jackson?
Yes, the parodies you did.
It's still there, but I'm signed out of the account, so I don't know if I can sign back into it.
Lovely.
Long story, Kyle. A friend of mine's friend does
naked naked photos.
No. He does. He's a nude photographer.
Oh, nude. Okay.
And he's also a nude model.
Right.
And there's
That's an interesting choice.
there's like a photo of him doing like a tea bow? Is that what they're called? T-bow? What is it? What the footballers do it where they bow
Like
down.
the thinker.
It's like the thinker.
Oh,
yeah.
yep. That
He does
classic
like
pose.
the thinker, but he's like bending down and he's completely naked. So a friend of mine took a photo of me doing like that or going like that. Like with 2 fingers sticking up, and they edited it so it looks like I'm shoving my fingers up the bloke's ass.
Oh.
And then we posted it onto Instagram and tagged him in it. We did a few more different ones, but then he got a little bit annoyed at me and basically like threatened. He threatened to like get because I was copywriting his work apparently.
Parody.
Even though it's transformative and I put parody. But he was all sulky about it. So
What a bitch.
But, yeah. So he actually he sent me a private message basically, and I basically say, I'm sorry I got annoyed. Can you please take the photos down? I ended up not posting anymore. I stopped doing them.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
Gotcha.
I do have to actually take them down now that I think about it.
Nah, you've just got to double down and do some more.
Well, I was going to because he got all of, like, he threatened me. And I said, that's not going to happen. I'm going to keep doing more of them then. And then I said to my friend, who's also a friend of his, Like, if he had just said, "Can you please not do this?" Like, if he'd just been nice about it, I would have been fine. I would have been fine with stopping it. And I think he did. I think he got the message across. So he said, "Can you please?" And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want this guy killing himself over me.
Not an achievement that you want to have on your books.
Mm-hmm. No, although what? Yeah, don't make it a challenge. Don't make it a challenge.
I know, it would make a nice title, like in a video game.
Death by nude art parody.
Slayer.
Gosh.
Oh, it's too far.
Finish him.
Yeah.
Himself, actually. Oh, goodness me. And the other housekeeping I want to just mention is, again, we're back live streaming this episode on YouTube, and so check out the links below for that as well. I don't know, do you have anything to plug, Kyle? Because outside of Troy and I's own YouTube channels, we really don't plug that much.
No, I don't.
Your bathroom sink? It's a good thing to plug.
I don't know.
I did that the other day.
Yeah, well, how'd that turn out?
I fixed it.
Oh, good.
You know when you fix a problem, Kyle, like a sink, and then by fixing part of that sink, you break another part, so then you have to fix that part, but by fixing that part, you've broken a third part, and so you just start smashing the thing, and then you've got to buy a new sink. Yeah, I bought a new sink the other day. I needed a new one.
Oh, goodness.
No, I changed some taps and then had to fix the plumbing a little bit.
Gotcha. Fair enough. All right, let's get into some highlights. Let's start with you, Kyle. What have you got for highlights, or anything that happened amazingly?
Nothing amazing happened. I got accepted into TAFE to study my disability care.
Oh, nice.
I had a phone call from my lawyer last night. He said I might not be going to jail. So
Oh, even better.
that's it. Wonderful.
Oh, no. I mean, was there any reason or concern in the first place?
What was the reason?
Yeah, what was
I don't think I should talk about an ongoing court case.
Oh, it's fair.
On
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
Yeah.
Understandable.
We
Yeah,
can
no, it's
talk
fair.
about
That's fair.
that after.
That's fair. That's
Probably shouldn't have brought it up.
understandable.
Should be right.
Wait.
Oh.
So you're not going to jail? That was the wrong one. I was meant to do this.
Oh, get your soundboards right, mate. Jeez, no, just kidding.
Wait, so you're going to TAFE, are you?
Yeah, well, it's getting harder
I
and harder
was-
for me to find a job.
Because I was actually looking up TAFE because I don't know if you know this, Carl, but I have like one qualification. That's my white card.
Oh, yep.
Huge.
But
Well, I
my
think
job you
you
don't
should,
need a qualification for.
I think you should get fork certified, Troy.
I should get forked.
Forklift gang.
Just fork it up.
I've thought about that,
Fork
and
things
if I
up,
wanted
yeah.
to, because the company I work for has plenty of warehouses all over the country, essentially. Like now that my company's been bought out by another company, they've got warehouses all over the country. So if I wanted to, I could probably get a warehousing job anywhere if I wanted to switch jobs.
Disability care is actually a really good job because there's so much of it, like especially in Melbourne. I mean, it's not Port Lincoln, but
Yeah, but
it's
well,
everywhere.
even in Port Lincoln, there's a gajillion businesses.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, services and stuff.
Okay, so what is it called when things sort of like happen at the same time? So you got into TAFE for working with you're going to do a TAFE course on working with disabilities. I have the other day I was thinking of actually doing like a TAFE course. Like literally, I came up with a little Google ad telling me what courses for different jobs and what apprenticeships and things. And like 2 days ago, I was literally looking that stuff up, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do a 3-year apprenticeship in boiler making or in fixing or joinery or something. And I'm like, I'd rather just work at people with disabilities or something, or aged care.
Yeah. Disability is pretty good because, like, unlike aged care, you're not working with like 70 or 80-year-olds or 60-year-olds. You're basically working with middle-aged people.
Are you talking about aged care versus working with disabilities?
Yeah.
Yes, but you will be working with young kids sometimes who are like 14, 15, who have extreme autism and Asperger's and things.
Yeah.
Like, I got a friend, and like, you might want to blur out what I say, but part of what I say, but he told me about how one person he looked after, this kid went up to a bunch of like African American people
Oh.
and said like the N word.
Yeah.
I won't say the word, but yeah, he said the N word, and my friend who was looking after him at the time had to like step in and go, whoa, no, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Yeah, that'd be dicey.
Like and these guys, yeah, they were not happy with this kid because he just heard the kid had just heard the word, and heard that's what people have called some black people. So he was like, oh yeah, that must be what they're called.
Yeah,
Yeah, it can
a lot
happen.
of the core study
you do
units
run
are the
into-
same. So, like, if you wanted to, like, you can do aged care or disability care, or they have the combined course, aged and disability. But if you do either of them, you can then just do further study in the age section or the disability section.
Yeah.
You're going to find a lot more work in aged care, I think, especially being a
Probably.
strong young man as yourself.
With a forklift license, that's going to be very
as
handy.
you said, Jackson, as I said, what do we need? A young bloke.
A young boy. A young boy.
A young boy. A strong young boy like yourself.
Oh, goodness me. Yeah. My sister actually did aged care work, and so if you want a bit of knowledge and stuff, maybe ask her, but...
Well, the funny
Which
thing is,
one?
I don't
Penny.
think
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you don't need a qualification to actually get started in aged care or working with disabilities.
No, I don't
You don't.
think
Not for
so.
not for working with disabilities. I don't know about aged care, but definitely not with disabilities. Because my mate has got a company in it, and I said to him multiple times, I could get into working with people with disabilities, and he goes, "Well, do you want work? Because I know people in your area that are looking for someone to help out." So, Kyle, if you find yourself being able to move to Melbourne, I could hook you up with some work with a company.
How much time you got, Troy?
And if you're interested in aged care, my mother works for a company in like, what is it? Not booking, but she vets people for working with people working with aged cares. So people call her up, and she basically does interviews with them for this company.
Gotcha.
So I got you said, why am I working in this job when I should be working in aged care or working with I got connections, man. I didn't realize I had connections, but I do. What are you doing? I can, and you know the best part about working with people with disabilities? Sometimes it's just yard work that you have to do. Sometimes they just need you to mow their lawn because they can't do it.
Gotcha.
And it's
Take
cheaper
them
to
shopping
have.
or...
Yeah. Take them to the movies. That's what my mate does sometimes. He takes them to the movies and stuff.
So part of my job, we actually service all the disability home care places, and like, so they'll have their own little rooms, and they're a shared room. But like, some of the rooms are like, it looks like it's a grotto type situation where people are hoarding stuff. Like, some rooms I've seen, there's a guy who got massive shelving, and it's just full of DVDs of movies of whatever. And it's kind of like, well, how many times have you watched each of those movies, mate?
What? I watched every movie once, and then I put it back in its spot.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to move into my highlight. So I forgot to mention this last time, but I was driving home in the tunnel, and it's 3 lanes. I was merging in from the entry ramp into the left lane.
Yes.
And I was looking to go into the middle lane, but as I was looking, there was a car coming in the far right lane, merging into the middle lane, but they had no indicator. And so what they saw was me going... Basically me just mouthing, use your indicator. So like, hold on, let me do it better. This is
Something
why...
similar happened to me today.
Yeah, this is what he would have seen, like, so you guys are looking at me, this is what he would have seen, like... No, this way. Yeah, anyway.
You're looking at the
See,
wall.
you go like this.
This has got some sort of spastic good.
But yeah, like, because the worst place you want to have a crash is in a tunnel. The
that's
knock-on
true.
effect is outrageous. Especially in Melbourne.
So, on the way home today, I had a similar. It wasn't much of an encounter, but basically, I'm going through basically from Bond Beach to Cranbourne, and I'm going through the first crossroads at Cranbourne, the first set of lights with the Carl's Jr. on the corner. Do you know that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I'm going through this intersection, Kyle, right? And a guy pulling into the road, right? It's a three lane road, right? He's coming from the other way, and obviously there's He's got like a zipper lane, and that's what I'm going to call it. What would you call it, Jackson? Just an emerging lane.
Yeah,
Turn
imagine
off.
that's probably appropriate.
And he basically cuts in front of the car, in front of me in the middle lane, right? So he into my lane. So he's fine. The guy in front of me, he's fine, even though the car like got close to him. But the guy's pulled all the way across right in front of me, and I'm doing 80 kilometers an hour. So I've had to not slam on my brakes, but I've had to brake and slow down all of a sudden to 60, and I've beeped the guy like crazy, like what the fuck are you doing? He then proceeds to go to the next set of lights, go into the turning lane because it's another crossroads, and he does a U-turn. And as he's U-turning. Yeah, I don't know why, but he U-turned. So he merges with one set of lights,
and then from
U-turns
the other.
at the next set. As he's U-turning, right, he turns around and I'm driving past and I'm shouting at him like, you fucking idiot. All I see is this. And he's on the fucking phone.
Okay.
He's holding his phone up to his ear. I'm like, are you completely oblivious to me shouting at him through the window 4 lanes away?
You're not missing a match on the city life here, Kyle, to be honest. So.
This wasn't even in
we've
the
got a whole
city.
grand set of about. I think there's 2 sets of traffic lights in this town. That's it.
Ugh, well, then
Wait,
you're lucky.
Oh, because everything else is roundabouts.
Wait, 3.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything I'd give to
you got one near the Maccas, one out near Ravendale. Where's the other one? Probably down by the main street, maybe.
What are we talking about? Traffic lights?
Yeah. Is it
So there's
Ravendale?
the-
Is that what it's called?
No, that's all the way near the
Ravendale.
sports complex.
Oh, okay. So there's no lights
we
there.
got-
Okay, my bad.
There's one set near the intersection near the silos. I guess where a lot of
yes.
trucks roll through there. There's
Yes,
one across
yes.
from Woolies, and there's one near a school crossing at near the on the
I
way
thought
up
the one near the
towards-
Maccas was the
Yes.
stoplight, but I guess not. Okay, never mind. Misremembering.
Fair enough.
But anyway.
And of course, there was also someone crashing into Courtney yesterday. Anyway, moving on.
Oh,
I was going to mention my other quick highlight, but we'll get back to that, Troy. My other highlight was, Carl, you may remember this person, Chantel, my cousin, Chantel.
yeah.
I caught up with her last week for a coffee.
Oh, no.
Well,
And
that's good.
yeah, so the Phillipses are slowly re-emerging into Victoria again because my dad was here, then he went back, and now he's coming back over into. But yeah, so Chantel, she'd been here since 2019, so yeah. But I was saying to her, like, you look like you fit right in because she was wearing black, and that's like the thing in Melbourne, everyone wears black. And so yeah.
Which one of us is wearing black right now, Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah, it's you. That's right. You're finally becoming one of us.
Well,
One
the
of
thing is,
us.
right, I'm coming up to one more year, and I will become a local.
Your full conversion will be complete.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes.
No more Mr.
Dead to me, Jackson.
It was correct. Yep, same. I know. It was nice knowing you. It was nice knowing you.
I gotta put the volume down on that.
But yeah.
one.
So I don't know when the last time you saw Chantel was, Carl, but damn, she's
It would have been Yonks.
Thruna
easily
probably.
over 5 years ago, 6 years ago,
Yeah.
Thruna. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But she's like her brother. She did a lot of bodybuilding and gym stuff, so she could probably pack
Sorry,
a punch.
she's like a brother.
What?
She's like a brother.
Like her
You
brothers.
said she's
I like her
her
brothers.
brother.
Yeah, her brothers.
okay. Sorry, I thought you said like a brother.
No. She's like a brother to me.
She's like a brother to you. I'm like, what has that got to do with Jim?
Yeah. No, but
So the whole
to me, Anakin.
so the whole family likes to gym and get and
yeah, get her.
Get
Yeah,
fit.
her siblings. Yeah. Because they did a bit of boxing as well, but I think they've stopped.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right. I remember
Because-
that, yeah.
Carlin and Matson are both. Well, Carlin's a dad, and Matson's probably going to be a dad soon. But yeah. So
Lovely.
anyway, that was good to see more Phillipses in Victoria, even though. Yeah, it's funny because like she's been here for 6 years and I never caught up with her. So
I won't do that one.
But yeah. Troy, you got any highlights for you?
No, nothing interesting.
Nothing about the car being run into
No.
for the third time.
Courtney got into a car accident yesterday.
Women drivers,
Again?
man. Tell you what.
It's almost been. It was so close. All we had was just a couple more days, and it would have been a year since my car accident.
The anniversary comes around quick.
Yeah, if only we were so close. Like, Axel was born on the 7th. I think my car accident happened on the 12th or something, or the 10th. I can't remember. But yes. So basically, Kyle, this time last year is when I got into a car accident. I totaled our second Kia Cerato. The first one was totaled by Courtney's car accident 3 months prior to that. Oh no, was it? No, it wasn't even 3 months. What was
it? It was like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
No, it was exactly a month.
It was a month. Okay.
So Courtney got into a car accident on the 13th of June, and then I got into a car accident on the 13th of July, and now Courtney's got into a car accident on the 2nd of July, a year later.
Perfect timing.
And
I might have to try it out.
And you want to know the bit?
It's the latest craze.
Oh, it's pretty good, man. It's quite thrilling. I try to get at least one in a year.
I've been in one, but it's not
feeling alive.
I got hit by it. I can't really say I've been in a car accident because it happened at a stoplight.
You've never been in a car accident.
No, because this is the thing, right?
Jackson's like, someone tapped my bum, and so I got
actually no. Well, not just someone. A truck hit my rear end. But it was like a 5Ks an hour because I was at a stoplight to go left, and the left to turn left has got its own little slip lane, and the truck thought I'd gone, and he went to go off, and he went bam.
So, Kyle, for reference, when Courtney got rear-ended by a P-plated four-wheel drive, her car crumpled in. There was no boot.
Yeah,
The back window shattered, and there was no boot.
That happened to my car too, though.
Jackson's car accident, little truck goes boop.
Well, my car, I had also no bonnet too, and no back window, so yeah.
It's all right. Yeah, but you're driving a Corolla. You should have
Yes,
expected
and
that.
my action was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Courtney got thrown. Whoosh. Yeah, no, she probably got.
Yeah.
And my car accident was basically a head-on collision. The front driver's side. Oh no, was it the driver's side? No, the front
Passenger side.
Passenger side got absolutely totaled. The airbags went off in my face. I got out of the car and I got out like I was Superman. Like you know where in the movies where someone gets into a car accident, they just step out and they like start walking away dramatically. That's what I did. And then as soon as I got to the sidewalk, I went down on my I crouched down and went. Okay, that just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if you, Kyle, many times we went to the farm, we did any paddock bashing. I don't know if you were there any of the times we did that.
No, I don't think we did.
Oh, okay. The amount of times we did silly stuff at the cousin's place on the Flavels farm with like they had an old I can't remember what car it was, but we took the bonnet off and turned it into a skiing thing where you throw the bonnet to some rope on the bull bar and you basically like wakeboarding but on a car hood on ground. But yeah.
Well, long story short, Courtney is fine. The car's fine. I drove it home and then drove it back to where the accident happened to finish getting the Hungry Jacks that Courtney was supposed to get. But
very important.
Basically, as she was driving along, it's an 80-kilometer zone, but fortunately, it was just before a set of lights and there were cars in front of her, so she was only doing like 50 according to the dash cam, or 54. And this woman. I'm just going to say she wasn't paying attention because the dash cam footage shows two cars in front of Courtney. One of them pulls into the turning lane, right? So you've got this car in the turning lane and this other car next to the turning lane, and Courtney's behind that car in the left lane. And you've got cars where the turning lane comes in and people turn to go into like all the fast food places. There's also another lane for pulling out. And so as the car turned, and the car in front of Courtney went past the outgoing turning lane, this other car basically just thought there was no more traffic and pulled out and banged into Courtney, booped Courtney out of... Like, essentially, she hit Courtney, but Courtney was going fast enough that she hit the middle of her car, so wrecked the passenger side door. But then, because she'd hit the passenger side door and Courtney's car had slid out of the way because it was still moving... Hit her, just nicked her tyre or got some of her tyre, but the back of her car wasn't touched at all. It was the equivalent of get out of my way.
So you're telling me Melbourne's just full of bad drivers?
I mean, if you watch Dash Cams Australia, Kyle, literally like I would say almost half of the clips are Victoria, or specifically in Melbourne.
I wouldn't say this was bad driving. This was just bad circumstances because the woman said, a woman said her window was fogged up because they'd picked up, like, I assume KFC or McDonald's because that's where they were.
Yeah, that's
and
the fast
she
food
said
lane.
she was fogged up and she just didn't. Courtney's got a black car, so she mustn't have seen her lights or must have thought her lights were the other car going past. And because the car turning was actually blocking visibility, she essentially pulled out a blind spot, like she couldn't see the traffic. She wouldn't have seen the traffic, so I don't know why she pulled out.
Don't do that.
She would have been watching and then predicting and going, "Oh, there's no more traffic after this car." What little did she realise there was one more car, and that was Courtney.
Fatality.
Fatal.
It's always another con.
This is Sparta!
Essentially. That's exactly what happened.
Basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Courtney's highlight of the week.
Ah, yes.
My
What are
highlight
yours?
was calling up my mate and who lives around the corner from us and going, "Do you have any baby seats in your car?"
Oh,
And
no.
then putting Axel in his full drive, and we drove up to BP to pick up Courtney in the car.
Oh, goodness me.
That was my highlight.
Fun times.
It's nice living close to people that you like, having one or two people in your area that you can count on.
Yeah, it does help. But yeah.
Because otherwise, we would have had to wait for like Courtney's parents who were like 40 minutes away, or Letitia and Jackson who just wouldn't have
20.
shown up.
Well, yeah, well, who knows?
Yeah, who were 20. I thought about calling you if the other person couldn't do it.
Okay.
Just put me down as an emergency contact.
Yeah. Even though, yeah, exactly. Interstate car will ring you. I think that's more convenient.
I'll see you in 14 hours.
And my headphones
Give or take.
died.
I might be driving a forklift, so it could be a bit more. Yeah. Now I like to do these episode recalls where we go back to previous episodes and answer questions specifically for myself. Where the bloody hell are you, gal? Was Lara Bingle?
That's the name. I knew it was something like semi-funny.
Yeah.
Bingle.
And the dude on the American $20 note was Andrew Jackson, who was a president of the US. And so if anyone who dared give a damn about those answers, that's what those are. Yeah. I haven't got any topics, but you'll be back? All right,
I need to
you'll be
get
back.
a charger for my headphones.
Oh, no, he needs to get charged for his headphones.
Because this one doesn't work
thought that
for
is-
some reason.
To say, has his kid had another accident?
Another one. Yeah, cut open the
My
lip.
son has just headbutted a window.
Yeah, well, that window looked at me funny. Yeah. It's his son's birthday coming up this weekend, too, so...
21st? Heck yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, so, but funny enough, I'm like, well, not funny enough, but our two kids are a little bit sick, so I'm not sure if we'll be attending in full or only one of us, so it could be fun. Testing 1 2. Does he have the working headphones? Testing 1 2.
Why are you testing 1 2? I'm the one who should be doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'm testing 1 2 so you can make sure you hear the audio through your headphones.
So, mouth's moving, but you're not saying anything.
Oh, okay, sure.
No, I mean literally not. Like, I don't understand what you're saying, Jackson.
Never mind, don't worry. Alright, so I'm
Now
only...
still
don't-
doing
still don't-
racist rhetoric, trust me. It was just
Sounds
Yeah, I
about
was-
right. Sounds
N-word
like
after
Jackson.
N-word.
Typical Jackson.
You had to be there. Alright, I've got one news topic to talk about, and it's not that much, but it's pretty funny. Everyone's favourite radio personality and former footballer, Brendan Favola, went and played for South Wales.
Oh.
Wait,
And to the surprise
hold
of
on.
Yeah, go on.
wait. The guy who was at one point. The only thing I know about Brendan Favola is how much. What's his name? The guy who used to be a football player but now is a radio host.
Brendan Favola?
Wait, is it Brendan Favola?
Yes!
Oh, it is him. Sorry, I was thinking about the other guy. The guy he always talks about. The
I
guy
don't
who
know, I don't
dated
listen.
his daughter or something for a while. Who was? A
Oh, I
footballer.
don't know. I don't listen to commercial radio like we discussed last episode. Anyway, he's been doing this thing where he plays for random footy teams in the country or whatever.
I thought he
he's
stopped playing.
No, professionally, yes, but he's playing for like amateur teams or whatever. So he was playing for South Whaler, and to the surprise of absolutely no one, got in a fight.
Really?
Was he drunk? Because that's what he also used to do a lot of.
Oh, what a dick.
You can pretty much place a bet on how many beers would Fev have at the Brownlow.
You can take the footballer out of the field. You can't take the field out of the footballer.
But unfortunately, he got an on-field apology, and I'm like, oh, come on, you don't have to apologise. It'd be funny if he didn't.
No, he has to, because is he still a radio host, isn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't
there you
start the
go.
fight. That's the thing. He didn't start it.
Yeah, but he's got to be the bigger man now that he's
true.
more of a public figure. Footballers can get away with all sorts of things. Radio hosts can't get away with anything.
So wait,
Just
this could be
ask Kyle Sandilands.
Yeah, because their radio's going rogue.
Who's I don't know who
Allegedly.
that is.
You don't know who Kyle Sandilands is? Kyle Sandilands was formerly best known as the one of the judges on an Australian Idol.
Okay.
He's a music personality.
He's a shock
Oh.
jock.
He's
I
a shock
imagine.
jock. Yeah, that's probably more appropriate.
What, Simon?
Yes,
That's
he's
the
like
guy-
the British. He's like the
that's
Aussie version of Simon.
Isn't that the guy on every
No,
Idol show?
that's Britain's Got Talent.
Isn't he on every Idol show?
Probably he was on American Idol actually.
Simon
As far as
Cowell.
I'm concerned, every what are they called? Judge in any of those shows is Simon. They're all Simon to me.
Yes, that's true. The crazy fact about Simon Cowell, which I don't really care too much, is that he was in Shrek 2.
Oh,
That's right,
yeah,
he was, wasn't he?
Did
Very
he play
strange.
himself in Shrek?
Yes,
too?
essentially.
I thought so. Yes.
Because there was a bonus scene or bonus thing where they
He's doing like
on
an
the
Idol
DVD
thing.
there was a
Happily
I
Ever
don't know,
After Idol.
yes
not- Far
Or something
away,
like
right?
that.
Idol
Yeah.
Far Away or Far Away Idol.
yeah. That was crazy. I don't know why. Like DVDs, sorry, movies don't do that stuff anymore. Like
Did you know
I remember
that
Madagascar
did you know that
had
Mike
something.
Myers plays Shrek?
Troy, did you know Eddie Murphy played Donkey?
I did, yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's actually
So,
that was actually going to be my follow up. Jackson, what's Shrek about?
Explain
He's
to
like
me
an
in
ogre.
Shrek.
Explain to
Ogre-
me what Shrek's about.
Ogres are like onions. They have layers.
That's right.
The chair! Give him the chair!
You know the movie Pacific Rim, don't you?
Yeah, it's in the Pacific Ocean. There's a big tire.
I think I'm just going to bring that up every episode now. Speaking of that whole situation thing, I finished the manga for Kaiju number 8.
Oh, yes.
The the anime I was talking about. I ended up going to the manga and reading it, and I read it. I spent like a Sunday reading the entire thing.
So, is this a recent
Well
show?
worth it. What, the Kaiju number 8?
Yeah.
It's an anime.
It came
You'd
out
like
last
it.
year, didn't it?
Probably. It's like, Attack on Titan, Jackson? Wait,
Yes.
why am I asking these questions? You don't know what Attack on Titan is about?
Troy, I've seen it. Just ask me what it's all about, and I'll tell you.
It's a little
In
bit like
real-
Attack. It's like Attack on Titan, right?
Yes.
Except the main character, how he's like he can transform into a Titan. This guy transforms into a little mini kaiju and can blast things away, blast bigger kaijus away.
That's weird. Because the whole thing of being a kaiju is that means you're a big monster, but if you shrink...
You clearly haven't seen Pacific Rim.
No, Troy, ask me what Pacific Rim's about.
Okay, if you want me to get into the lore, the deep detail, it's about kaiju invading from another dimension through the bottom of the sea, and the little super smart strong kaiju send in big clone kaiju to try and destroy the populace so they can take over the planet easier.
Okay.
But they don't get away with it because the humans realize there's a way to get to the kaiju, so they send a nuke in there and blow them up.
Very, very American.
I just
Yeah.
want to bring up the synopsis on
I
Wikipedia.
heard Iran was on the other side.
Troy, it's real. It's real.
What's real?
It's real. I don't know. I just want to establish the synopsis in the Wikipedia. It says Japan has the highest rate of kaiju attacks in the world. Therefore, in order to combat them, it establishes the Japanese Anti-Kaiju Defense Force, also known as JACDF. Mm-hmm. I think that's just a great
Have you
Jacked
ever seen Parasite or heard of Parasite, Jackson?
Yes, that's a Korean movie that's shown, isn't it?
No, it's an anime. They made a live-action version of it. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's basically the show is basically Parasite.
Wait, hold
Kaiju
on.
instead of-
Is this show basically Attack on Titan, or is it basically Parasite?
It's closer to Parasite than it is Attack on Titan. I just don't know if you knew what Parasite was.
No, okay.
So you know the guy in Parasite's got the little thing in his hand?
Attack on Parasite?
That's right.
Yeah, Attack on Parasite, Titan number 8.
I'd love that show. That's my favourite.
Featuring Pacific Rim.
It's almost as good as Naruto Ball Z.
We don't talk about the second Pacific Rim movie, though. That was a travesty.
Yeah, the second one wasn't very good.
Great.
I don't even remember it. That's how bad it was.
It was
How to watch
garbage.
Pacific Rim online.
And I know I watched it because I remember
Put it on.
This is still a whole episode watching Pacific Rim.
Live
What were we
stream
talking
Pacific
about?
Rim.
We were talking about Brendan Favola.
Yes.
Getting into a fight.
Yeah, I was going to make a point. Was it a publicity stunt then?
Maybe.
I mean, the fact because he didn't start the fight, but after the fight he received an apology. He didn't have to give it
I'm telling you, it's because he's a radio host.
because he's a dickhead. I mean, no, Radiohead. Yeah.
I mean, he is a bit of a dickhead, yes.
No, because the thing is, right, on Instagram, like, when you're doom scrolling at some point, you come across these stupid reels, and
You really got to switch to TikTok. It's much
oh,
easier.
well, I
to
should just
stop
delete
doom
Instagram. I should just
scrolling.
stop doom scrolling in anything
You
in
should.
general.
I'll send you the chit videos. It's really good.
But you get these silly clips where it's like these radio hosts are talking about we play this sound clue a lot, and it's the sound from the X-Files, and the Gen Z producers are like, "Oh, that's Star Wars."
Yeah. Well,
You know the
I love the
famous.
X-Files.
I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen that on Instagram too. The radio hosts going, oh, do they know what this is? Do they know what this is? And they get in, as you said, all the Gen Z producers, and they're like, I don't know what that movie is.
And the other stupid clip was the one about prequel, like, oh, what's the difference of a prequel? A dequel and B-quel? And the other one's like, oh, guys, we're so dumb, it's a sequel.
That's right. Yes, I remember that one.
You don't need a brain cell to be a radio host.
I'm telling you,
or a
Jackson, get
podcaster.
TikTok because it won't just give you that stuff. It'll actually give you stuff that you find interesting.
Yes.
And it literally has a section. You'll love this. So you've got at the top of the actual app, it's got your following section, a recommended section, and a STEM section.
Okay.
As in, like, I forget it's like science and technology, and I forget how the actual anagram goes.
Okay, fair enough.
What does STEM stand for?
Scientifically test. I don't know.
Hold on.
It sounds like some modificational type sort. I don't know.
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Ah.
Yeah, that's what
I was gonna bring up stem cell, but like that's not.
No, that's not the same thing. But it's
No.
and I clicked on the STEM one. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's actually like educational to a degree. Like, it's actually what the videos that you watch are actually like explaining mathematics and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, if I wanted to do Year 10 maths, I guess I would watch that.
Well, I'll tell you what, it could help you with your electrical skills, your electrician skills. You might want to brush
Troy,
up on your boards and your circuit pathways. And
you know how you've been working? You work with
your negative neutrons.
Fucking nerd.
Stuff.
I said neutron, and all I'm thinking of is Jimmy Neutron and like the brain power.
Gosh. Troy, I was working at a site today, and they the grinder. So you got the positive and negative neutral, the active and neutral cables.
Oh, I know about grinder.
They'd cut. That's what we meant. They cut through. They'd somehow slice through the neutral cable.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
The black one?
the blue one.
Blue one. Wait, isn't
Yes.
it blue or black?
No,
the
blue
black's
is
the
the
negative.
neutral. Then orange. The brown is the active.
Yeah. So it can be black though, can't it?
Yes, in a
Yeah.
wiring up situation.
Okay, yes. And they cut through the neutral one.
Yes, with the
But what-
grinder. I'm assuming. I don't know how they do that, but that's what I found.
Wait, where was this in the circuit board?
No, on the grinder.
What was on the grinder? I'm so confused, Kyle.
Jackson's profile was on Grindr. What?
That's a good prank, actually. Set up someone's on Grindr and not tell them.
I swear, half of this podcast is Jackson going through like a 2-minute explanation of me going, "What?
What?
Can you explain that again?"
Okay. Big grinder.
Yep.
Flexible cable near the plug. The cables comes away from the plug and exposed underneath.
Yep.
Exposed cable cut. Neutral cable cut.
Okay.
So
Can you repeat that?
I'm trying to understand here because like
big cable damage. Someone cut.
Okay, but so was there a grinder sitting next to the broken cable?
Yes.
Okay, and where was this? What site?
In a workshop at a quarry.
So and it was actual live cable.
Well, I'm assuming at the time it must have been.
So
but yeah, I found it.
Well, there we go. But my question is like, was the cable on a table? Was it to the side? How do you get to grinding a cable? Unless someone's like, quick, cut the power or something, and someone's going, all right, I'll do it.
I'm just doing my job. I just found this cable. It was very damaged and severed, and I'm like, okay. Slap a big danger stick on that one.
Couple of hundred sticker here, sticker there. Put one on the grinder for safe measure.
But anyway, yes. Yeah. So I didn't have anything else to talk about for the topic tonight, but you guys have anything to chime in with that's been...
Did you say a topic?
No.
We didn't have it. We're going to start coming up with topics.
I have no idea, though. Salacious headlines. So, like, you talk about a mundane thing you did in the past week.
No. I got another one we can talk about. So, I want to talk about companies and false advertisement.
Oh, goody. I like this one.
So, I don't know if there's... I only have one example on me right now, but I saw an ad for Booking.com. And the ad basically... In the ad, they go... Booking.com offers free cancellation, or we offer free cancellation, right? And then in the little disclaimer, it goes, check with the merchant about cancellation. Or check with the vendor.
That's a good
check
suggestion.
venues about cancellations and all that. And I'm sitting there going, okay, so they don't offer free cancellation. They offer free cancellation for places that offer free cancellation.
That makes sense.
Is essentially it. You got to make sure the place you're booking through Booking.com, make sure that they also offer free cancellations, essentially. So they don't offer it for free because they're just a middleman.
Yeah.
The only way they could offer free cancellations is if they lose out. If you book somewhere and that doesn't offer free cancellations and then you cancel, well then Booking.com's got to pay for it.
I don't know if you've, because I get a lot of clips on my Facebook feed for Gruen Trends, the Gruen, which is basically a TV show, which is the whole show is discussing advertisements.
Yeah, but it grews on you.
It's actually kind of fascinating because they were recently talking about AI being used in ads and now how that could be misleading as well. But yeah, because the Tasman, you know your favorite Kia, Troy, the Tasman.
Yeah, Tasman, yeah.
They released a new
who's
ad.
It named after again?
I don't know. The island of Tasmania. No, they featured Rafael Nadal, the tennis player. And I'm like, wow, they're going really hard with this push because the first ad was a bunch of famous Australian sports people, which Troy didn't know most of them, but luckily I did, so I had to explain. And then recently they did it again, except this time they featured less sports people, but they brought in Rafael Nadal for like a 3-second appearance on someone's phone to say, is this for a cashy?
Do you know what I really find interesting is watching two blokes hit a ball back and forth from each other and going,
You gotta watch the women's. You gotta
two blokes, one ball.
Where have I seen that before?
If there's one sport I can't understand, it's tennis. Like, I understand playing tennis. I don't really understand watching tennis.
Maybe tennis is false advertising, Troy.
Maybe.
What's your views on badminton?
Mate, that's the shit.
That's the real good stuff.
Just
Although
a
it's not
couple
as good as
guys
pickleball.
slapping cock around.
Pickleball's my favourite.
Troy, can I tell Kyle this the best thing about badminton?
Go on, tell. What's the best thing about? Why are you
Kyle,
asking
so
me for permission?
New Zealand, right? Known for a really good sporting team. So we've
I
got the
know,
All
yeah.
Whites for the soccer team, the Tall Blacks for the basketball team, and the Blackhawks for the badminton team.
Oh boy.
Yeah, New Zealand, just amazing.
Guess what the Australian badminton team's called? The White Chicks.
I was going to say we've got one.
Black Hawks versus White Chicks.
Yeah, that's it.
Cue the hub.
Now you get me thinking about ads that I've been noticing, and
Well, I'm glad you said ads then. I thought you were going to say something else.
we won't go into that, but sure, I understand. No, because the one that's been interesting lately is the BetterHelp online, and it's on literally every podcast I listen to. There's a BetterHelp.
Here's the funny thing: you don't hear anything about it here in Australia on regular TV or Australian media. It's all American media.
Yeah,
And also, BetterHelp went through a lot of issues. People were complaining about it in the past, and now suddenly they're advertising it again.
yeah.
And it doesn't no offense to people. I get that people can't afford counseling over there, and that they need a lot of counseling. But what I don't understand is I would rather talk to a mate or a friend and sort of confide in them than some random person over the phone or online. Sure, you can meet them, you can talk to them like this face to face, but it's not the same. At least if you go into a counsellor's office, a psychiatrist or psychologist's office, at least you're meeting the person in real time, or you're actually meeting them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, and it still costs you money to go to BetterHelp, doesn't it?
Kyle, your thoughts? Have you got any?
I don't know. This is the thing. My opinion on counselling is when you go into counselling with the mindset these people are going to help me get over this problem, but then a lot of those people indefinitely seem like they're in counselling.
That's true. That as well.
It's does it work?
Because Kyle, improvement is it's a never-ending process.
I wouldn't know. I'm the best, so.
It's all right. I'm here for you. You want to talk to you? Hey, Carl, you want to talk about it? I mean, $50. $50 and we can talk about it.
Because the problem with the ad, and I'm assuming we listen to the same one, is that just relax. BetterHelp bought this 30-second ad to tell you right now that you should stop what you're doing and rest your jaw or release your jaw or something?
No. Actually, you got to do the other one. In, out.
Oh, that's it. It's the same ad. I just don't remember that part. That's
out.
Search BetterHelp and enter random pod for 30% off your first interview or whatever.
Those 30 seconds of Spotify really help you relax.
You know what's annoying?
Sponsored
It's
by
35
BetterHelp.
seconds. I timed it. So I can't relax because you say you got 30 seconds, but no.
Look, Jackson, I don't know if you should know this, but man, these are you know what other people do is most people have Spotify, they pay for Spotify Premium.
Yes, but
Apparently,
yes.
I didn't know this, right? The majority of people actually pay for Spotify Premium who use Spotify. That is wild to me.
I mean, people just use Amazon Prime for Spotify, don't they? Can't they?
You can use Amazon Music.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Amazon and Spotify different. They're owned by different. They're not the same. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I thought Spotify got bought out by Amazon or something at one point.
I will look it up.
Yeah, maybe I'm going crazy. Or maybe it was Meta. I don't know. It's funny because on Instagram, I noticed recently, on your little icon, it says, "What are you listening to?" And it says, "Connect your Spotify to show people what you're listening to."
Okay. Sorry.
Which
You know
is-
when you look up something and you want just an answer, and instead you get a whole article? That's what I've got here. Does Amazon own Spotify in 2024? All you need to know.
But what about this year? I don't know about last year.
Short answer is no, apparently, which is good. Amazon does not own Spotify. However, the relationship between the two companies is complex.
Do you think they should see better help to improve their relationship?
Who owns Spotify?
Some guy from No, where is he from?
You're right. Some guy from Sweden.
Yes.
Weird. No, I
Yeah.
don't know. Let me.
No, it's some guy from. Well, he's the guy who created it.
Many
yeah.
individuals own shares of Spotify. Yes, I know that.
But I don't know about you, Carl, but when you listen to ads, the same ads repetitively
public
through different services, are you driven to not want to use their services? Because that's what I find.
Yeah, I'd be leaning that way, but I use YouTube Music Premium.
Yeah, so you don't get any.
And a friend of mine got a free YouTube Premium family plan when he signed up to his phone, so he just added me to the account, so I don't have to deal
nice.
with ads.
Shout out.
Oh, nice.
Shout out, Saxon, my man.
I was about to say, what, you're paying for that? Don't you know you'll never buy a house with that attitude? And
Well,
stop eating,
what Spotify-
stop eating avocado.
Troy, stop it.
Sorry.
Get help, Troy. Better help.
There are
In, out.
Sorry.
Continue, Carl. Continue. There
there are cracked versions of Spotify you can download application packs for, so it's just essentially a hacked version that has no ads. Same with YouTube and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no, I'm not going
encouraging
down
illegal
that route.
activities.
No.
That,
Well, no, that's interesting you say that because kind of leads interestingly to like I don't know if you've seen this, but Stop Killing Games, that movement.
yes, I was watching a video about that today, actually.
Where now you kind of getting to a point where now piracy is not stealing anymore, considering like when.
Nope, it's still stealing.
Well, yes,
It's
but the
still
thing, the
stealing.
point is what they're trying to say is instead of buying the game as your own property, you're now buying a license to use the game.
That's Steam in general. You know that, right?
Yeah, but no, that's not just Steam anymore. That's moving on to any digital download type situation now.
Apart
Like
from,
even with
good old games,
yeah,
they put out a disclaimer saying, yeah, we don't do that bullshit. You buy stuff from us, you own it.
yeah. Are they like a
Good on
smaller
Go Games.
developer though? They're not. They're not. Big
Well, they're
are
a
they?
smaller platform. They
Yeah.
mostly deal with that said older games. Like
Yeah.
if you want to find anything that is old, you can find it and buy it through Good Old Games. They have their own launcher and everything.
Oh,
GOG,
nice.
GOG Universe. Hang on, I've got it here on my desktop. Where are we?
So here's the question I've got for you, right?
GOG Galaxy.
About the
Galaxy.
whole
Okay.
game thing, right? So I understand people want to own their games, and I also want to own my games. And the easiest way to fix that is don't buy the games that only offer that service. Like buy a game that says you own this. If you're going to buy games, like they want to fix the market. They you do it with a wallet. It's clearly these services people are still buying. Quote, yeah. What is it? A digital? What did you say it was? A
Digital download.
no,
purchase.
it's a
Digital
Getting a
purchase.
license
it's not a
to
purchase.
use.
It's a license. That's it. If people are annoyed, look up and make sure the game is actually the game and not a license to use the game. But the other thing is, a lot of people buy these games or get these digital license. They play the game for maybe 1 month, and then 5 years, 10 years down the track, that's when the company decides to cancel the license for the game. But a majority of people aren't even playing the games anymore. You know what I mean? And it's usually, isn't it mostly online games that they're doing all this stuff with?
It's mainly for those games who have like online services and internet
Games that
connectivity,
have a live service, and
then they get shut
So,
down,
like,
and so you kind of can't play
Well,
anymore.
they usually get shut down because there isn't a big enough player base.
I think there's other factors. It's either that or there's a new game that same developer has produced and released. So like, oh, we don't want people to play this game. Come
We
play
want
the
them to
newer
play this
game.
game instead. Yes.
Like a good example is with the Nintendo consoles, like the past 3 consoles, like the Wii.
No more Splatoon.
No, sorry, the
1
Wii
for
U
you
Split-
young man. Only Splatoon 2 and 3.
The only way you can play Nintendo Wii U games is with Pretendo, which is a fan-made based server connection thing. So, I think, while that is for Nintendo, that's a pretty big thing. It's going to be hard for like Xbox or PlayStation fans when it comes to doing that stuff, because I don't know how complex their server stuff is compared to how Nintendo is.
I believe that if it's an online game, they should have a limit of, like, for example, keeping servers open for a certain amount of time, and when they do finally close servers, they either make the game public because at that point they're not even doing anything with it anymore. Or they allow people to, as they said, do their own servers, which is I think what the games thing what they wanted to do, wasn't it? They wanted to
Stop Killing Games, yeah.
Stop Killing Games wanted people to be able to create their own servers.
Yeah. I mean, they can kill Mind's Eye. That seems like a really shit game, so...
Jackson, you don't know anything about. You've never played the game.
I've watched 2. I didn't know.
Just
Was it
because
2 or
the
3?
wheels don't roll, but the bike moves.
I feel like little Jimmy could have done that better, but anyway.
Maybe they had a really good mind's eye with it, but it just didn't come to fruition.
Well, that's the thing, though, because like, the line with Stop Killing Games is where does the accountability lie when it comes to, like, you know, AAA games not living up to their standard or delivering what they're expected. I don't know if it's because it's overhyping or if it's... Because the whole thing about Mind's Eye was it was a team of developers that were part of GTA 5, and that's the reason why people were excited about Mind's Eye.
They left, hadn't they?
No, the executives did. That's the one who... Oh.
No. They left. They were part of the GTA 5.
Yes,
team,
correct.
Rockstar, but they'd left and started their own company and all that.
Yes,
then right before the game came out, this is all hearsay, I don't actually know. It's just what I've heard. That two of the... right before they released the game, 2 of the executives quit. Because they knew they knew the direction it was going.
Yeah, I think a lot of things that stuffs game developers over to is, you know, whatever studio is paying for the production, they quite often force a deadline, which was the huge problem that Cyberpunk had, which now is a brilliant game, and 100% worth playing, love it. But when it came out, you could tell, you know, they were forced to release it in an unfinished state, and it was crap.
I think there's nothing wrong with releasing a game like not entirely finished, because then if you've got thousands of people playing it, you can. It's a lot easier to find bugs and fix those bugs. So I'll tell you what, it actually makes more sense in some ways to release a game not entirely finished, so that way you don't have to pay people to do like test the game and do bug find
to patch it and everything.
Yeah, to patch it. Instead, you release the game. Everyone who they complain about that. Put in a patch for that. What? This is wrong. Put in a patch for that.
I mean, that's the thing with
it's a very clever business move, and it makes the games really goofy and funny, which means people will want to play them.
I guess so. Like Cyberpunk is kind of a game where when it came out, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of interested in playing that. But then I saw the bugs and all the wackiness, like I'm like,
Do you know what really actually annoys me? Is when there's bugs that are actually useful or good in a game, or that people enjoy, and they get patched out. So, for example, when Fallout 4 came out, right, there was a bug where if you commanded the dog to pick up an item that you had just dropped, and the moment the dog goes to pick it up and you pick it up, you pick up the item, and the dog picks up the same item, and it duplicates it. And then the dog can drop it and give it to you again. And it was an item duplication glitch. And they patched that really quickly. Same thing with Legend of Zelda. There are other things that you could do that were very similar that they've patched. There was an infinite money glitch in Tears of the Kingdom. And I was looking up how to make money in the game, and all the glitchy ways, or all the ways that people would come up with, all the creative ways, were gone and patched out of the game, and the only way to do it was to go hunting.
yeah, okay.
You literally hunt deer and boar and get the meat and then cook it up and sell it for like 3 times the price. Still makes you money, but it's a lot slower.
Yeah, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, the Gen 4 remakes on Nintendo Switch, they had like, in the space of 2 months, I think 4 or 5 patches because of people finding glitches and bugs, where those glitches were very useful. But yeah, they're quick to get them out as soon as possible. But
it's also inconvenient for speedrunners who want to try and speedrun a game, who purposely try to find different glitches and different bugs and things.
Yeah, Kyle, you were saying something?
In Battlefield 2042, when that first came out, you used to be able to ride the hovercrafts up buildings.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
You'd hit the top and just launch. And that was so fun. It was a good way to, you know, raid rooftop campers. And
did you?
Used to also, if you're the guy who had the drone, you used to be able to cover the drone in C4, and it was one of the most effective ways in the game of destroying vehicle campers. But then they patched that out, so as soon as you chuck C4 on the drone, it can't fly high and it moves very, very, very slow.
Oh, that shouldn't have been patched.
Yeah, that was annoying because
they literally did that during the Ukraine and Russian war at the moment. That's pretty much what they did. They put bombs there. Someone must have played the game. I've been waiting my whole life for this. It's my
How's
time.
that game going, by the way, Kyle? Is that player base still strong, or is it?
It's a pretty shat-on game. Like, people hate it as a Battlefield title, but it still does have quite a few players. Like, I've got 700-something hours in it.
We have another friend called Kyle
I was
who
about to say, which
bought it.
was that what we played with other Kyle, or did we play a different one?
No, that was 2042.
But I
But
still
then
play
he was-
Battlefield 4.
Yeah, I've actually got
slaps.
that on my system, so we should probably play it one day together if you want.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
me,
Except-
yeah, me
so
too.
hold on. So because the thing is, there's Battlefield 4 because I've got both 4 and 5. 4
Well, 5's still
was
populated too.
yes, very popular. Yeah.
I think
And
I've
then
got
also
4
is
and
Battlefield
5.
1.
Yes.
Battlefield
you-
1's the World War 1 one.
Correct. Yeah, I think I've
And
got
that
that one too.
That still has active servers.
Yeah.
Wait, are they? Excuse me. The Kyle, do you have Halo Infinite?
No, I used to have the multiplayer when it came out, but I have not played the campaign.
I was going to say, do you know if people are still playing that game? Because I downloaded it because it was free to do the multiplayer. I played one game and then never played it again.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just busted. Apparently, they have fixed quite a few of the issues with it, but I haven't given it another shot since.
I didn't have any issues with the game. Like, I didn't play it enough. I played one match, and you know when you do that, you buy a game and you play like 5 minutes or 10 minutes of it, and then you go,
Yeah.
all right, I'll take a break now, and then you just never get back to it.
Troy, I'll give you an update on Halo Infinite multiplayer. 677 people were playing it an hour ago.
Only 600 something.
677, yeah.
That's not that many.
Damn.
That's very low, actually. Is that specifically
Steam.
Oceania servers or?
That's
Steam?
on Steam.
Oh wow.
That doesn't say
That's
what region.
global.
Yeah,
That'd be global, yeah.
That's not many people at all.
Yeah, that's bad.
It was free to play though, wasn't it, you said?
Look,
Yeah, the
it
multiplayer was, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to pay for the
They
campaign.
released the campaign as a DLC, which
That's
is
rich.
very anti.
No.
That's like not Halo coded at all. Like, because Halo games generally have fun as campaigns.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been a hot minute since I've
I
actually
think that
played
was
a
the
Halo
point
game.
of it. I think they were trying to, because obviously, if you just sold people a Halo game, because they released it free. I guess. How much was the DLC for the campaign?
I think the campaign was still like buying a whole nother game. It was like $60.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So they were trying to draw people in with the multiplayer and then get them to actually play the campaign. I probably would have done that
Yeah.
if it added to the storyline, but I got to go back and play the older games because I think I finished it like Halo 4 or something, or Halo 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recently went through. Well, recently, like some point last year, when played all through most of the Halo games in chronological order, from like Reach all the way through to 4.
I've got the Master Chef collection, so I haven't.
Yeah, same.
The Master Chef collection.
Well, hold on, maybe I read it wrong as Chief.
Master,
It's Master
yeah,
Chief.
Master Chief. I am the Master Chef.
No, listen, Chef, we've got to cook. Cortana,
Oh, gosh dang
Cortana,
it.
pass me the onion.
Go cry, it's only onion.
Cortana, I'm going to need you to cook the onion for me.
Chef, me in your helmet right now.
What? So what's in the Master?
What's the plan?
Chief
collection.
Chef.
In the Master Chief collection, you've got all of them up till 4. So you got Reach, Halo 1,
okay.
2, 3, 4, and the Halo 3 ODST side game.
Okay, gotcha.
As well as all the multiplayers for all of them, which is pretty cool.
Okay,
Cool.
so Jackson,
Yes.
I don't know if this is just Steam. Did you look at Steam charts? Is that what you looked at?
Yes.
So on the Steam charts, playing an hour ago were 8,800 Rocket League players.
Wow, Rocket League game. Oh, jeez.
So-
There's more players on Rocket League than Halo Infinite.
Yeah. It's still lower than it was. Obviously, it's still at its lowest point since before it was. It's actually at its lowest point, except for when the game first came out. Back in July 2015.
Damn.
Apparently,
Thousands.
back in June 2015. Sorry, the lowest it's ever been was in June 2015, and that was 25 people.
Jeez.
That was obviously the beta. Or the
Okay.
alpha, or was it, whatever's the second last one.
Beta's
to come out.
correct.
Is beta? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Alpha's like pre-build, and then Beta's like pre-release.
But honestly, it's been consistent over the past year or so. It hasn't really
Shockingly.
changed much.
Shockingly.
So it's
I
the
think most
same
of the people who are still playing Rocket League are the people who play it competitively, like
That's
play
true.
ranked and stuff.
Esports. There's still an esports element to that game, so that helps.
And they got rid of the
Yeah.
whole like gambling side of it too, like with crates and.
I mean, they brought it back, then they got rid of it
Should've-
again, then they brought it
They
back.
they repolished it.
Now
and
it's just you. Now it's just you. You want it, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Epic.
A
Rubbing
lot
your
of
wallet.
games copped that when Australia and a few other countries in the EU updated their anti-child gambling laws. That
Yes.
Overwatch and everything copped it.
Yeah, because like everything, because of the gambling aspects, like all right, that has to be R18 almost.
But
well,
it's
not
not
R18,
technically gambling.
Well,
Because
Tell that to our government.
So to
Gamble responsibly.
technically to gamble, you have to actually put money in to lose something. But in these,
true.
but these things are more like they're gotcha games.
Yes.
Essentially, they're gotcha systems, where you pay money for a chance to
gotcha.
get the item you want, but you will end up with something.
Yeah.
So that's why
That's
it was
right.
technically not gambling for a while. But I didn't know our laws were updated so that kids couldn't quote gamble that way.
That came in, I reckon, either 2018, I reckon, or 2019. Or was it more
Yeah, we've
recent
been
than
around
that?
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who
Would've
I
been around
blame?
then.
I blame the parents.
It's funny. Okay, this is funny you mentioned because
Mom, I need $20. What for?
When was
I need
that?
to get a skin. Honey,
20
you already have skin. No, Mom, a video game skin.
2014, I went to a Mario Kart tournament thing in Adelaide and I went with a friend. And before the event started, there was a those gaming setup trucks where it's like if you want to hire a gaming setup, get this truck to come to your place. And it literally has all the consoles. And I was obviously playing the Mario Kart one. And Nick Xenophon at the time, the senator Nick Xenophon, was at the event, and there was a camera crew behind him. And he was just talking to me about like, oh, what do you think about the money in esports and gambling? I'm like, well, it's a bit like the AFL and all the other sports that televised. It's everywhere.
Sports bet.
As
Gamble
long
responsibly.
as long as it's monitored and
bet.
make sure it's everything's about board. And like, yeah, that's what I told to Nick, and I'm like, those cameras aren't on. Okay, fine, that's fine.
Who said the cameras aren't on? Him or you?
No, I looked at the cameras and could tell they weren't on
Okay.
because the cameras were facing down.
No, they were on.
I-
They just knew where you were going and quickly switched them off.
Yeah, boring answer. Move on.
Like the gambling laws, like there's like obviously the federal blanket laws, but then each state varies as well. Like in South Australia, you can't even bet on MMA anymore. Like you
What?
can't
Why
bet on
can't you
any
bet-
combat sports
Why
because
not?
a SA politician decided to not like it, and you can no longer bet on the UFC or kickboxing or anything in SA now.
What about boxing?
No,
Nope.
What? That's why. That's retarded.
Yeah,
No,
just because
People are just going to bet amongst themselves.
the funny thing is, you chuck a VPN on, you can still do it. Like, yeah.
There's ways around things these
Speaking,
days.
I watched a TikTok actually just before, and I completely forgot about it. But apparently, the Premier of South Australia just passed a law where supposedly politicians can't get outside sponsorships or
Gifts.
outside money anymore.
Yeah.
And it was quite funny because I saw all the comments, and all the comments were basically, "This is just to keep up and coming people from getting funding.
Maybe
To keep,
I don't know.
this is just to keep the two-party system going." And I'm thinking to myself, I mean, they're not wrong, but they're not right as well. Like, if it's probably a good thing to have like, and
Is it? Mm-hmm. Is it Peter Malfanakis? No, Malkanakis.
Malinakis.
I cannot
Malfanakis.
remember.
Yeah.
I just saw it said Premier of
Carl
South
said his name.
Australia.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
He's he's kind of came into he came in with a bang like when Liberal eventually lost their like first election in Yonks. He really came in and took over and kind of he's really put his foot down with like the gambling and such. But
I think it's a bit ridiculous in the sense that how do I explain this? Laws need to reach a certain standard, but they cannot go too far. Same thing with things like taxes. Like, for example, they were talking about, it was a news. I was listening to a news thing the other day, and it was mentioning about the fact that because tobacco is so overtaxed in Australia, now a bunch of illegal tobacco stores have popped up. Because people are like, I don't want to pay. Like, I'm not paying, I don't know, $40 for a pack of cigarettes when I can go to some bloke I know who will sell a whole like the equivalent of two packets of the equivalent of 2 packets for $20 in tobacco, and I can just roll it myself. Because even
the government was complaining that last year they lost, was it $7 billion in tax revenue to illegal tobacco? But then it's like, how do you feel sorry for them when they created the problem? Like,
exactly, they're the ones who are overtaxing. Like, just bring the tax down, and maybe people will go through the right system, or even just
a politician who has actually had an opinion on that to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't be putting the tax up, is the New South Wales Premier. Well, recently,
the
like,
same
hey,
things
who made this problem?
Same thing's happening with alcohol. People keep bringing up about how this Australian drinking culture thing or pub culture thing is dying out. And I saw another one about how the shout is dying. Nobody's paying. No one's saying I'll shout the next one because they don't want to pay the exorbitant amount for alcohol. And if they keep overtaxing it, one of two things is going to happen, right? Or these two things are going to happen. People are going to stop drinking completely, and then they'll get no money. Or people will start making their own illegal alcohol, and then they won't get any money again.
And I think a part of that too is that a part of Australia will die because of the whole drinking culture and the pub culture. It's just that's
in the similar vein of when Kevin Rudd came in and he introduced the Alco Pop tax, which was like all your premixed drinks like cruisers and stuff got a massive price hike, and that was to combat the teen binge drinking epidemic. And all it did was make teens get hold of bottles of spirits instead of cruisers and mix their own drinks.
It just made them exactly. When I was younger, we just mix up. We just buy a bag of goon and mix it with Coke. I'm not
back
paying,
in those days. You play Kings.
I'm not paying
King's
$20 for a couple of what do they crush for a couple of cruisers when I can buy a bag of goon for $10. A bottle of Coke for $2, and it'll feed me and 3 mates. Or well,
And now, but the thing is though, we've got products like Hard Solo,
Ugh,
the second cousin of
They've
Han Solo.
hard rated.
yeah, but at least we have. But soon we'll have Solo Zero. Wait a minute, that's just regular Solo.
This is ridiculous. Before you know it, Powerade will have an alcoholic drink eventually.
I do love everyone I speak to about Hard Solo. They're like, it's great. It's like you're drinking Solo, but you get drunk.
What?
That's it. Their comment is, it's like it doesn't taste like alcohol. It just tastes like you're drinking a regular Solo. So you can drink as many as you want.
They brought out. Yeah, obviously there's normal Solo, and then they brought out the alcoholic version, which tastes exactly like normal Solo. And then 2 weeks ago they dropped Solo Energy, which is like the energy drink version of Solo, and it tastes nothing like Solo.
Of course it should. Of course it wouldn't.
I guess because it's an energy drink, they've probably got a lot of different ingredients and stuff, so I guess the flavour gets subdued.
It's not even it doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't taste like Solo, but it doesn't even taste good at all. Like, it's one of the most foul things I think I've ever tasted.
Which is it? Gatorade or Powerade has created this new sub-genre of energy drink called Twitch or Switch?
Fast Twitch, yeah.
Fast Twitch.
It's just
I
caffeinated Powerade.
only get
Oh,
what is it?
caffeinated Powerade.
Muso. What is it?
And that's just protein drink.
No, the Muso one or whatever it's called.
Musono, that's just protein
Musashi.
powder drink.
Musashi, that's it. Musashi.
They have energy drinks too, yeah.
Okay.
It's canned pre-workout, yeah.
And
And actually not that horrible.
So it's not an energy drink. It's a pre-workout because it's in the energy drink aisle at Coles and Woolworths and that.
All of them other brands like C4 and BSC Science and Musashi, they all just stack them together with the energy drinks.
Yeah, okay.
Which we
So
had
they're
that
really
law come in. Yeah, it's just pre-mixed pre-workout in a can. Like,
yeah, they really should separate those a little bit. Then
I'd love to know how
that was the other.
because
That was one of the other issues.
You'll have 16, 17-year-olds buying it. Yeah,
That was the thing, and because they have 160 milligrams of caffeine in them, which is what a can of Monster has, but plus all the other ingredients that come in pre-workout, which is quite a bit. Like
that was the main reason with
as long as they
Prime
don't
as well.
get the tingles. Prime's not an energy drink or a
It's a hydration drink.
No, it's not. It's not a hydration drink.
It's not even a good
either.
hydration drink.
It's just cordial. It's cordial.
American cordial.
It's like literally, I've drank it. It's basically just drinking straight cordial.
Yeah, I've had it before, but I can't recall the taste now. So it's not that impactful. Because I can't seem to remember the taste.
It doesn't taste like an energy drink. It doesn't taste like a hydration drink. It tastes like cordial. And I don't think it has. I don't know how much sodium or whatever or potassium it's got in it to be considered a energy drink. A rehydration drink, but it's just none of the above.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
shit.
apparently it's
Tastes
got
good though.
because it's meant to have hydration drinks are meant to primarily contain sodium, magnesium, and
Potassium.
and Prime has a shitload of magnesium and a bit of potassium and then stuff all sodium, and sodium's arguably the most important one you need.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But yeah, they brought in the laws limiting the amount of caffeine that's allowed in canned drinks in Australia as well. So, because a lot of those canned pre-workouts had over 160, and now they're the same as a can of Monster. They're all 160 is the limit.
All right,
But
hold
you
on,
can
hold
still
on.
go to the
Let's get a baseline. What would be a cup of coffee, like a standard cup of coffee? I know it varies, but
depending on the size, but a standard cup of coffee is about 80 milligrams of caffeine.
okay, yeah. So it's the equivalent of 2 cups of coffee at the same time. Jeez, I didn't realize Monster had that much in it.
Whereas you
That would
go
explain
to
it.
you go to the iced coffee section and get an intense dare espresso, and they're 260. And somehow it's allowed if it's a milk drink, but no,
Because it's got dairy.
It's weird how it works.
That's why I don't buy an intense dare. I only buy a regular dare.
How daring of you, Troy?
You see, a double shot. Why would I want a double shot?
Yeah, that's the thing, because like Suntory's Boss Coffee, what it's called, they've got like 5,000 different. Well, it feels like they've got 5,000 different flavors. They've got like 6.
You know what I miss? I haven't seen it actually. Is it still around? Barista Bros.
No, they long time
died.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what happened? They were my favorite. I love
They were owned
Barista
by
Bros.
Coca-Cola.
They were so good. I didn't realize
Must have
that
been
until
profitable.
now, but
Saying,
yeah, I guess. But they were my favorite. They actually tasted good. Tasted
The
like actual
the
coffee.
TAFE in Port Lincoln, when I was there for the 6 months, that their vending machine had it. And they had the iced coffee Barista Bros, and that was amazing.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it was my favorite. I would always buy Barista Bros, and then I don't know why. Maybe they couldn't afford the Arabica beans.
2 things. They make them in Arabica, Troy. Yes.
What?
We made a joke about this when like I was at the Shell and they were talking about, why don't you try Arabica bean coffee? They're 100% Arabica. And I was like,
yes.
yeah, they grow them in Arabica, which is
Yes.
not a real place. But anyway, 2 things they should bring back. Bring back Barista Bros iced coffee and bring back the KFC Crushers.
yes, I can agree on that.
I don't know about that. I don't care about the KFC Crushers.
Any more? Aw. What happened, Troy? What happened?
I never really,
What a-
never thought they were that good anyway.
Oh, fair enough.
If you
Clean
want to know,
them
Arabica and Robusta are
It's
the
a
2
species
varieties
of
of
flower.
caffeine.
It's a species of flower, Jackson.
Yes, Arabica beans.
Correct.
That make them in Arabica.
And
I don't
was
know,
it
it's just
Arabica has a better flavour, but Robusta contains more caffeine. I think that's the general gist of it.
The more
I don't
you
know. I'm not a coffee snob. I just know they're. I really want to go to this Arabica place.
So wait, you saying about how the double shot Dare coffee has 260 milligrams
The
of
intense
caffeine?
No, the
espresso.
intense.
It's
Oh,
the red
intense
label
one.
one.
I'm
Even,
saying
although
drink-
even I'm pretty sure is it the silver labeled triple shot one? That
That's the
still has
intense one,
230.
Yes.
No,
Oh,
the
wow.
intense one's red.
Okay.
And it has it says warning on it.
obvious-
It's like,
It's a warning sign, yeah.
I find
Like
it
that
a
stuff
bit,
doesn't. I don't know
find
if caffeine works on you guys though, like separately, because like I will have a coffee and sometimes
on-
it'll work.
works on me fine. I just don't know because I'm constantly having one in the morning and drinking it throughout the day.
Okay.
I have one
Well
coffee.
adjusted.
I have one coffee, and I will finish it at 11 o'clock. I will start drinking it at around 7:37, and I will finish it at 11:30. 11.
All very precise.
Unless
Look at
I'm
your
getting,
schedule.
unless I'm
Drink
getting
coffee.
Unless I get
Done.
up extra early in the morning to pick up Screed, in which case I start drinking it around 5, and I finish it probably around 8.
Yeah,
I'll drink
understandable.
half of it on the way to like the warehouse in the morning to keep myself
Melbourne-
from falling asleep.
Melbourne has such a strong drinking coffee culture. Coffee drinking culture. Actually, that'll be next. Coffee will be taxed next.
Oh,
Somehow.
yeah, true. Well, that'll be interesting.
Can't drink alcohol, so we'll tax that. Can't smoke, so we'll tax that. Coffee, you're already expensive enough. Let's put on a 1.2% on that.
They'll never tax coffee. They know that'll destroy.
There'll be a revolt. There'll be an
The coffee
absolute...
vans, the pop-up coffee trucks are already struggling as it is. You know,
Yeah, well, don't go into business in that then.
people are already paying $5 for a coffee. You want to put a tax on that? That's right, 50% tax. So you want us to sell a cup of coffee for $10? That's right.
Yes.
And if you don't, that's fine, because whoever buys it will get the tax anyway.
Excellent.
Well, I remember Dad telling me when he was growing up, when they raised the standard price of a coffee from 5 cents to 10, and there was outrage. And I was just like, wait, you got to pay 10 cents for coffee? Oh.
I don't know if you remember back in the day, the Advertiser used to be $1.
The Advertiser.
It's a newspaper in SA.
Okay. I wonder how
You
much.
guys have the Herald Sun, and
I
we've
wonder
got
how much
that
it is
there.
now online.
Don't
For
know.
only the price of a cup of coffee.
If you can afford to pay coffee, you can afford the paper.
I got to admit, it's kind of funny now because the whole, for the price of a cup of coffee, now people can't say that because other people be like, well, actually, coffee costs a little
Well, it
bit.
depends though. Do you go to 7-Eleven and get your $1 coffee?
No, I don't buy coffee because I'm not retarded.
I like
I
the
have a
Shell
machine.
Express service stations have decent tasting coffee, and it's like $2.
Correct. Yeah.
You pay for the cup size rather.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
you could, make it at home.
Oh, sorry. Try.
Actually, I should check with Corny whether
Guess I'll
it's
go
cheaper
shoot
for us
myself.
to buy a coffee from somewhere. Because we buy Corny buys coffee beans almost every week when we go to the supermarket.
Yes, they're
And
quite
if we-
expensive too.
And if
Well, I remember
I drink what is it called, instant in the morning.
I remember coming over for your wedding, Jackson, and when we're at Letitia's parents' house, and I swear
yes.
they made me like 50 coffees. Like every
Yes, that
half
would have
an hour.
been Courtney's doing too. That would have been Courtney's doing because she loves making coffees.
You
Don't
should
you
have
I was
said-
like,
Your problem was you kept saying yes. You want a coffee?
my problem
Yes.
is I really like caffeine. Like I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is go turn the kettle on,
I mean,
make a
that's,
coffee.
that's everyone. That's me.
That's
then I
not
finish it.
exactly me. I don't usually make coffee first thing in the morning. It's usually just breakfast, brush teeth, go to work.
I don't know about you guys, but do you have like a set daily routine that's basically you do the same thing in the morning every day?
Yeah, kind of.
That is me. No, I've got like a set routine. Like I get
Oh.
up, I get up, I put all the clothes that I need to put on. I walk down the hallway, grab my belt off the little thing it hangs on, put that on. Walk into the kitchen, turn on the light, turn on the coffee machine, go over, grab out my Wheat Bix, grab out the bowl, fill it, Wheat Bix in the bowl, get out the milk, get out all the stuff for the coffee, mix it all together. Like to a T, exactly 2 Wheat Bix. I go over to the other side of the bench while the coffee's boiling or while the water's boiling. I'll sit there and I'll eat my Wheat Bix in the exact same chair. Like it's like clockwork.
I
Yeah,
wake
if it
up,
works.
do a poo, get out of bed, let the dogs out.
Sorry, you're right. The first thing I do is I take a wicked whiz.
I don't know if it's getting older, but I cannot. Every morning I have to get up at like 5 a.m. to do piss, and it's kind of like I didn't always used to be like this.
Yeah, I've found that problem too. That's why like over the last month I caved and just bought a jar of decaf coffee because I like having a hot drink at night, and it usually ends
it's
up
fair.
always being coffee. Caffeine is a diuretic and it makes you want to pee. So I was like, I would always have a coffee and then get into bed, go to sleep, and then wake up at 3:30 in the morning like, oh, God, gotta go. But now it's not so bad.
Especially during winter, because you want to stay in your warm bed, and you're in someone's like, "Bruce, get out of bed, you lazy piss! I want to get out."
That's the other
My
thing
routine.
that happens.
Well, one of the dogs sleeps in my housemate's room, the biggest.
Oh,
one.
that's nice.
And he leaves for
Betty
work.
loves that.
He leaves for work at 6:45 every morning, and then without fail, I will just hear a kick on my bedroom door, and it's Hunter standing at my door, just and he just wants to go outside. So he's like my alarm clock.
I got a similar thing with the cat. For some reason, the cat just knows when you're awake. So I'll be lying there in bed, and I've just woken up, and I'll hear meow, 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 meow. The cat comes running up and jumps on the bed and just sits on you for like 2 seconds, and then gets up and leaves.
Cats do have a sixth sense that no one knows about, I swear.
They,
As the owner of many
they
cats
know
during my
when you're
lifetime,
sleeping. They know when
They
you're
know-
awake. They know if you've been
Then-
good or bad.
so for crying out loud, take me outside, otherwise I'll shit in your bed.
Yeah,
Cats have got attitude, that's for sure. But yeah,
But
all right, well, I think we'll go.
But yeah, I've literally got my morning routine like to a T.
Down
I
pat.
do it the exact same way every time. Without
I-
fail.
It depends on what time of the day I have to start. Sometimes I'll have breakfast at home. Sometimes I won't. I'll just take it with me in the car, depending on what it is, or I'll just buy something on the way.
I can't do that.
Fair.
I don't know what,
Fair.
but I can't. I get in the car and I start driving, and I'm like, I am not. The only time I ever stop to get like a coffee or something from a servo is when I've forgotten my coffee, and I will go. I am not going to deal with the headache I'm going to get in half an hour or in.
Yeah. See, younger me had a routine every day, but yeah, now they've gotten older and time juggling is a bit harder. So
Well, with me, it's not
Yeah.
even it's not even a time thing. It's just like it doesn't matter what time I
yeah,
get up
that's fair.
for
That's fair.
work. I always go through the same routine.
Yeah.
Do
Well,
you
because
crash
like
hard if you don't have caffeine? Like,
Me,
like aside from the headache, do you just feel sleepy? Like, if I don't have a coffee during the day, come 3:00 in the arvo, I'll be like, I could really go for a nap right now.
so I will if I haven't gotten enough sleep, and by enough sleep I mean I've gotten 4 hours sleep 2 days in a row. If I don't have a coffee or something, and even sometimes with a coffee, I don't just crash out. Like I get a migraine, and I have actually thrown up
Oh, damn.
in the car on the way home because of how bad the migraine's gotten. Like I've one time I was at the job site and I was finishing a job and I had the migraine and I threw up after I'd finished the job, and I said to myself, I'm not going to make it home. And at this point in time, this was a few years ago now. I lived further away from where. Long story short, Courtney was house sitting somewhere that was around the corner from where I was working. So I called her up and said, I'm coming over to stay. It's like I crashed on this random person's couch that she was house sitting for a good 4 hours, and then got up and drove home after that. And then,
Goodness me.
yeah, one other time it got to the point where I tried taking Panadol and it didn't help. And I ended up driving, and literally, I was driving along on a 40-kilometer road, and I'm like, I'm not going to, oh no. And I threw up on my lap. I did the thing where you try to hold it back and, it goes through your hand and that. And I got out, I pulled over, not even on the side of the road, like I had to pull up on the curve slightly and spit out just whatever was left. And I'm looking like, oh.
Lovely.
I'm like, this is disgusting. But at the same time, I was like, oh, I feel so much better.
moral of the story is go to bed earlier, get enough sleep, and
Don't forget
coffee
your
responsibly.
These were pretty extreme. Like I'd gotten 2 hours sleep that night, and the night before that I'd gotten 4 hours sleep. So that it was extreme circumstances. Let's put it that way. So I try to avoid that from now on.
Nah, fair enough. I don't have a coffee dependency, so I can't say I've ever had migraines from not feeling awake or not having coffee. So.
I don't think it was necessarily from not the coffee. It was just the lack of sleep caught up to me.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I don't know if you were ever, when you were younger, Kyle, went over to Whitey's house when I was like 18 or 19. It was a year after I left school, and we used to do all-nighters. And like, I'd pass out and sleep on Travis's floor. Just like it was 1 in the mornings. He was obviously away, so I just crashed on his floor and slept for like 2 hours from like
Before we wrap
10
up,
a.m. to midday.
what do you call? At what point is it considered an all-nighter?
When you wake up, when you've been awake all night, when the sun's up and it's about 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. What
Or
about
9
if the sun's
o'clock.
up at 7? Okay, 9 o'clock. Then I have done a few all-nighters.
Yeah.
Because
Whitey and I were playing. What were we playing that made us play that? Like, I don't know if you remember, but back in the Facebook days when they had proper fun games, Zynga Texas Hold'em Poker.
Yes.
Whitey and I used to play the crap out of that every night.
You know, I used to grind that. It was fun.
So dumb. Yeah, it was gambling before it was high risk.
Well, like, you could lend if you had like friends that you had added through Zynga Poker. You could send them money.
Yes, gifts.
Because I was half decent at poker, and I'd always have people. Okay, send me those bucks. It's like,
What do you think you're doing, Kyle?
Well, when you're doing all-nighters, you don't tend to think too much. You're like, I'll just go all in to piss them off. And they're like, why'd you go all in? But that's the problem with Zynga.
At one point,
Texas.
I had like $3 or so million in that game at one point.
Yeah, I think the
By
highest
brute
was
forcing it, just like all in every bet, and everyone would be like, "Oh no."
Not again.
I'm out.
Yeah, I can't remember how the highest I got. I think mine would have been like 10 million, I reckon. But yeah. Because you play the high risk, you play the high buy-in tables, and you win big quick. But you also lose quick.
Shall we wrap it up then?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes.
And it's gone! This line is for people who have money with the bank only. Please step aside.
Disappointed!
Wait a minute. That is not the outro.
I mean, what was the outro? What's the outro?
No.
Let's go, kink out.
No. Play some mono.
Technical. I've got here new intro, but I don't have outro. Where's my outro?
Nope.
What?
Play the game of find the outro.
I don't know what outro. I don't know what you're saying.
I'm not saying anything. I'm trying to do the song that the outro is.
I have this outro.
Yes,
no,
the intro outro.
That's
You'll
the
find it.
intro. That's the outro. Yeah, actually, I
Let's
can't.
sit-
Maybe I deleted it accidentally. I
I
can't
don't
find
need to
it.
see your naming situation, but anyway, alright. Just say. Well, what do you think you're doing, Carl? Well,
What
see
do you
there,
think you're
Carl.
doing, Kyle? Respect
I'll
my
see you-
authority.
Oh, thought. Alright, piss off, we're out of here.
I
See
don't.
ya.
I can't find the outro. There is no outro anymore.
Nani?
Stop, Troy.